The future belongs to those who can see it. The future is looking ahead and making it happen today. It's connecting to new opportunities. Blockchain technology means security and speed. We believe in innovation that provides solutions for everyone. The future of specialty lines means time savings and precision. Parametric solutions are the new era for SMEs. With REVO, the future has arrived in the blink of an eye. Good morning. I'm Alberto Minelli, CEO of REVO. I would like to welcome all those who are following us for this presentation of our 2022 to 2025 business plan that we have significantly called "The Future Belongs to Those Who Can See It." But before revealing to you how we view the future and the role that REVO will play in the competitive context, allow me a brief historical excursus. About 12 months ago, we earned just a few slides in a PowerPoint presentation. In May, investors gave us a lot of confidence. We launched the S.p.A. We identified a target. Very quickly, we progressed towards the business combination at the beginning of December last year. And a few days ago, we were authorized by our industry regulator to operate the business lines that will be part of the industrial plan that today I, together with my colleagues, will be presenting to you. The question now that spontaneously springs to mind is, what is REVO? Let's start by saying that it is not traditional insurance. It is insurance, by vocation, dedicated to the world of small and medium-sized enterprises, a pool of 5 million potential customers in Italy, a world representing the architecture of our economic system. A world, let me say, to which insurance carriers have failed to offer complete products and effective solutions. It is a world that will express a growing demand. We want to become the specialty lines niche kudos leader in this market. Our Chief Underwriting Officer, Simone Lazzaro, will talk about this in a dedicated section of this presentation. The needs, however, of our potential policyholders not only involve the world of specialty line niche markets. We also want to launch a new range of products on the market, parametric solutions, where we have changed, so to speak, the insurance contract playbook, albeit within the regulatory framework, because these parametric solutions are linked to events. Jacopo Tenaglia will be explaining these parametric solutions that we intend to build within a dedicated world, which is blockchain. Technology is important. It's not the elephant in the room, but a lead actor on the REVO stage. And so, this technology, this new platform that Salvatore Stefanelli, Chief Process Officer, will reveal to you very shortly, is an essential building block, a success factor in our competitive positioning. It is a proprietary, functional, cloud-based, natively digital and flexible platform. This platform will enable us to operate in the market and to gain efficiency. The capital we received from our investors in May last year is necessary, but alone is not sufficient for implementing our business plan. We need 3 more forms of capital. Human capital. Let me stress on this type of capital. Our team, our people, our community, our assets, and how we have the expertise to create them. This is our human capital. You will not find it in rows of the balance sheet of an insurance company, but it's essential, I would say existential, for the success of this project. Then we have technological capital, our platform. And our platform will enable us to work with all insurance intermediaries, both traditional and new ones, those that will appear in the market in coming years. And finally, we have distribution capital that we want to put to effective use for all our investors. It is clear the reference market is a market that already exists, at least for special risks. Premiums worth 1.5 million. Sorry, insurance premiums worth 1.5 billion. A 13% return on equity, higher than that of the other business lines. A pool, as I said at the beginning of this presentation, of potential customers. a market space that has also been left open to us by events like Brexit and by the trend of other insurance carriers to shift their business model towards retail. We, on the other hand, are focused on small and medium-sized enterprises, and our goal is to become leader of this segment. We then want, slightly presumptuously, to open a new market, the parametric solutions market. And we believe this market has extremely interesting development prospects looking forward. And by adopting a rationale of synergy, pricing and models, parametric risks can perhaps also be exported, as Jacopo Tenaglia will later explain, to the retail business. It's clear we're not starting from scratch, but from a robust base called Elba Assicurazioni, a reference insurer for surety policies, a profitable carrier, leader in its market segment, an insurer with modest IT legacy and modest distribution legacy, and with efficient, capable and motivated first-rate staff. And we intend to build our future success on these foundations. The insurer was acquired for €164 million. We paid 11.5 times earnings, lower than the market value and that of other competitors. We closed a great transaction, which forms the basis for building our business plan. What is the value creation levers? I would once again emphasize the team, robust, experienced, motivated, and driven by enterprising spirit. Proprietary technology, which is the great enabler, the machine that will help the team implement its business operations. And then distribution. We are natively open to all forms of distribution. We want to work with all distributors. We don't wish to exclude any channels. And as you'll see, the proprietary OVERX technology will enable us to engage with the market, implementing this approach. These three factors, human capital, technological capital, and distribution capital, are encapsulated in REVO's operational efficiency. REVO, by 2025, will reach the target of €300 million in insurance premiums, compared to €77 million today, and will triple its operating results, maintaining a robust capital profile and offering excellence and quality to all policyholders and to all investors. REVO will become a very efficient machine within its operating context. The path ahead is a virtuous path of growth. There is certainly a lot of building going on, a lot of product adaptation, product remodeling, and new product creation. And all of this will be taking place over the next few months, a path we already started along many months ago. But there is also a corporate road that should not be overlooked, because by the end of 2022 we will be able to complete the reverse merger of REVO into Elba, and therefore bring surplus capital currently held in REVO to Elba, capital that primarily will serve the business and listing on the S.p.A. market. The S.p.A. market should be a source of satisfaction for our investors, because it is a market marked by continuous supply and demand flows, and I would estimate it's larger than the market where we currently find ourselves. Before giving the floor to my colleague, I wanted to take a moment to explain the nature of our team. I want to highlight this point because we're very different from all the other market players. We have oriented our choices towards strong alignment with investors' interests. This is our polar star. Governance. We have a first-rate board of directors, expressing the various souls forming our insurance expertise, and which will be an extremely valuable management tool and coordinator of all efforts undertaken by the management team. 6 of 7 board members are independent members, and this ensures our excellent governance level. All people currently working at REVO or Elba, which in the near future will be working under the sole REVO umbrella, are people whose business interests are aligned with those of investors, under a MBO monetary incentive scheme, involving all staff, and with an additional scheme, the long-term incentive plan, share award scheme, which concerns a selected set of people we consider especially deserving for the value they will generate in the future. We have built the team over the years, or rather more precisely, more recently, in 2021 to 2022, and the team will be completed by 2023. In addition to the promoters you already know, let me introduce Mr. Stefanelli, who will soon explain the technological side of the business, and Ms. Paola Negri, who came on board last August and who has been engaged in an intense period of selection and recruitment of people who have helped to build, together with colleagues, our team, our lineup. In July, once the non-compete period has ended, Fabio De Ferrari, electronics engineer, who has held top positions in large international insurance companies, will become our Chief Operating Officer and will bring his experience, his far-ranging expertise to the business, as well as putting his accumulated flying hours at the service of navigating REVO. We built this team with determination, with passion and speed, starting last August. 1,600 CVs were collected for 90 positions, 60 of which have been filled. We have pretty much completed most of the teams that you see on this slide. And what I would like to pass on as a message, the question I ask myself, why do leadership and senior managers leave large insurance groups to come and work at REVO? Because these people are at the center of our process, at the heart of our company. I place high regard on people's individual responsibility and that they feel valued. And this people enhancement is strong motivation for individuals to perform well. So, the team is close-knit. It is united. It is a team that works harmoniously, a team that needs to blend further, but which is already well mixed to achieve the goals that we'll be presenting in the next few slides. Let me now hand over to Salvatore Stefanelli, Chief Process Officer. He will be telling you about OVERX in detail, what exactly this platform is and why it is important. Let me say again, it is not the elephant in the room. This platform is a lead player in our way of doing business, which I consider abreast of the times, efficient and effective, at the service of our customers and our intermediaries. Thank you, Alberto. Hello. When we started designing the new REVO information system, OVERX, we started from evidence we gained from analyzing the processes of traditional insurance companies for issuing a specialty policy, and specifically tailor-made options. We identified quite significant evidence that has guided us in designing and building the system. Current processes at traditional insurers are slow. It takes weeks and sometimes months to issue a policy. They are expensive. They require many hours by specialist staff work to collect information and issue a policy. They are inflexible, but integrate with partner systems, be they banks, digital channels, or larger intermediaries. They are complex. A lot of information is collected but then fails to be used. It is not uploaded to the system where only certain administrative data is retained. Starting from these findings, we designed and created OVERX, which I would like to present via a brief video and would ask stage staff to run it. Insurance carriers all operate the same way. They offer a limited number of policies, all similar, which attempt to cover various standard situations. Of course, it is a fairly efficient and fast procedure, but it overlooks several important aspects for the customer, and creating a tailor-made product takes a very long time. This was okay back in the Jurassic era. Welcome to the future. REVO is one of a kind. A great insurer with the brain and soul of a startup. REVO combines efficiency, effectiveness, and tailor-made products. How? By putting technology at the service of the carrier's intermediaries, and primarily the customer, all accompanied by robust expertise in insurance. This is how OVERX came about. A flexible, scalable, and fully digital cloud platform that integrates APIs and data access, aiding the creation and sale of insurance policies, even customized ones, in a few clicks via a simple, low-code interface. Combining REVO products to create something totally new is a bit like playing with Lego bricks. It takes just a couple of hours to build a personalized insurance product. OVERX's artificial intelligence, thanks to natural language processing, takes charge and speeds up the tedious daily operations. It helps the intermediary to draft the request. It reads emails and automatically interprets customer needs. It supports and accelerates decision-making and risk assessment processes through the aggregation of hundreds of multi-channel data. And the result? The drafting of the policy becomes 100 times faster and more efficient, even in the case of complex requests. In addition, through the use of blockchain, contracts become smart and automatic. In the event of a claim, the system checks the agreed parameters and can self-assess the customer within a few hours of the event happening. All this without having to go through slow and cumbersome decision-making processes. And so, every intermediary can focus on the matters that are really important, becoming more effective and offering an enhanced service. Science fiction? No, this is OVERX. REVO. The future belongs to those who can see it. This is OVERX, a proprietary REVO system that has been designed and built by a team of colleagues with extensive experience in insurance products and processes, and with far-ranging IT expertise, supported by technology partners that have provided the resources to build the system fast. The system is flexible. It is scalable. We have created it using a cloud technology, and this guarantees us scalability and efficiency. It is open. It enables the system to be integrated with any other system thanks to the API. It has been designed and built in compliance with the strictest security and privacy principles. It is data-centric. For this reason, we have created an architecture based on data, created on an important data lake that collects all information necessary for issuing a policy, for analyzing the needs of the customer, and for analyzing his risk profile. But it also collects information that comes from external sources, such as information providers, sensor data, which are used to monitor the risk, multi-model database systems, essential for managing parametric risks, but also satellite data, which we need for monitoring local areas in Italy and their specific risks. We have created microservices typical of the cloud environment on the data lake. These are numerous, each of which addresses monitoring and checking, as well as implementing functions that are orchestrated by an intelligent workflow. Intelligent because we have integrated artificial intelligence within the workflow. When needed, AI supports the user in risk analysis and decision-making. The blockchain, essential for parametrics, completes the architecture, but we plan to use it also for the other risks. Everything integrates with the legacy world, which has remained that used by Elba for managing compliance and accounting via the API, which are used to integrate with external partner systems and to optimize the front end designed for intermediaries that use the OVERX system for issuing policies, for managing receipts, and for all after-sales aspects. What objectives have we set ourselves? The first objective was to satisfy customers better than our competitors. The customer, with his expectations, his needs, his concerns. And to do this, we focused on creating a flexible product management system, a system that enables the modeling and creating of a tailor-made product fast, without the involvement of IT personnel, also called no-code. To do this, we've also involved the processes. All processes are digital and end-to-end. Checks are built into the system. People only focus on the important aspects, and we have optimized the front end for intermediaries. It is only possible to collect all customer information and issue a policy with a VAT number. In this way, we have greatly reduced the time required for issuing a policy, even for tailor-made ones. I'd like to tell you about this system in detail. Here is the structure and its functions, but that would take up too much time. But before I present it briefly and hand over to Jacopo Tanalia, head of the parametric business line, I'd like to share a video with you where he has collated a few sections of the product configuration and policy issuing process. Please run the video. Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. We've heard about technology, we've heard about the future. Certainly a key role in this innovative scenario is played by parametric policies. I'll try to explain what parametric policies are. Parametric policies are the new insurance solution that shifts the focus from the concept of a claim for damage to the concept of an event. A policyholder will not receive compensation because he has suffered damage or a loss, with such loss certified by an appraiser. But he will receive compensation in a fully automated way because a certain event has occurred. This event is certified by an oracle, which is a third party to the parties via the blockchain, and the system will proceed to automatically settle the claim. The contractual conditions for this type of policy are extremely simple. Settlement is certain, and this enables significant cost savings and increased transparency. In fact, certain process-related burdens that are a feature of traditional insurance are effectively eliminated. Why does REVO believe this is the right time to enter the parametric business? Because the world is overflowing with data and information. Technology is enabling the emergence of these new products and, above all, connection between different platforms. Innovative distribution models are emerging, also in the digital field. And the customer, from a cultural standpoint, is far more open and willing to subscribe to and search for new products. All these four factors find fertile ground at REVO, thanks to the absence of legacy from a technological and distribution standpoint. I would kindly ask stage staff to run a short, explanatory video featuring a parametric product. This is Mario, event manager. Soon, the concert he has organized will begin. This is Sylvia, a concert enthusiast. Soon you will enjoy the event organized by Mario. Mario has insured the event with REVO, and Sylvia has also insured her ticket with REVO. Unfortunately, however, things are not going as smoothly as planned. The event is cancelled due to rain. Mario can't sell the merchandise, and even the food and beverages remain unsold. Luckily, there's REVO. Thanks to REVO, Mario's loss of earnings becomes an instant refund. Sylvia also had to miss the concert, but thanks to REVO, the cancelled event has become a refund that she can immediately spend. You saw the video. Our two actors received compensation credited directly to their current account in a fully automated way. Oracles play a key role in this model. Oracles, as mentioned, are third parties. In the specific case we've just looked at, let's take a weather website rather than a control unit or a satellite system, which can certify the actual occurrence of rain. Oracles are extremely important for the structuring of the parametric product. On the one hand, they enable data and information to be collected for pricing purposes, but at the same time, they also enable the event to be certified. Oracles can be simple, as in our example, or they can also be represented by scientific models, where the relationships are structured based on several factors that need to be linked together. Without doubt, a key role will be played by the sensors and all the emergent IoT systems on the market, as well as software applications, which sometime in the future may become an oracle themselves for purposes of parametric cover. In 2022, REVO will offer its customers the first cover for weather events, business interruption, and farming and horticulture, with a view to further expanding the offering, extending it to cover natural disasters, mobility, and cybersecurity. However, we'll need to be very vigilant about managing risk. We will adopt a predictive approach to reduce concentration and risk accumulations, optimizing our portfolio mix also according to the exposures of the specialty area. Blockchain is an extremely important technology. It is a strong accelerator and enabler for the parametric business. Certainly, a key point is to create certainty and objectivity among the players taking part in the rule set, enabling payment and compensation through the so-called payment-in-kind service. This is the direction REVO plans to take, arriving at coordinating marketplaces and ecosystems that can provide compensation in the form of a service and not only cash. And certainly, blockchain represents a very scalable technology that offers possibilities for further development in an insurance risk market. There will be innovations that can be studied in the future. All these factors I have described to you can be summarized under the term flexibility. It means flexibility from the distribution standpoint and flexibility from the product standpoint. Distribution flexibility because these products will be able to effectively use an omnichannel approach. The centrality of digital platforms, the importance of marketplace and affinity groups in the distribution of products, but also partnerships with non-insurance players who want to offer their customers additional services to expand their offering. And broker agents will in any case play an extremely important role in identifying new business opportunities in the market. All these operators will be able to use OVERX according to different intensity gradients, which is our extremely flexible platform previously described. Flexibility also means product flexibility. As an example, this will be our first parametric cover, a product designed to cover the needs of bathing establishments during the summer season. It is a product initially designed for small and medium-sized enterprises and channeled to the end customer through an intermediary. Once the oracle has been identified and the machine set up, this product was replicated with an extremely scalable logic from a retail perspective. We have therefore entered into a partnership agreement with S.p.A. for the distribution of this product, and both parties, intermediary and beach establishment, will be able to rely on OVERX for the actual policy and intermediation of the product. Therefore, also from the standpoint of product flexibility, growth margins are extremely high. I'll wind up here describing the world of parametrics and hand over to Simone Lazzaro, our Chief Underwriting Officer. Thank you. Hello and a warm welcome from me too. To illustrate the specialty line business to you, I'd like to start with a short video that I'd ask stage staff to run. REVO presents REVO Submission Possible. Specialty lines in 8 hours. We have a system open to multiple intermediaries. Fewer questions make life easier. And innovation makes complexity simple. Automatic data comparison becomes process speed and pricing accuracy. So every response is tailored to each request. Specialty lines in 8 hours. For REVO, submission possible. Well, you've seen what our idea is, our vision behind specialty lines. It is a clear vision, and one we've adopted since launching our adventure. We aim to be the reference carrier for the Italian market, for small and medium-sized enterprises and professionals. To obtain this ambitious goal, we have based our approach on 3 pillars. A structured, clear and precise underwriting strategy, but primarily based on the far-reaching skills of our underwriters, our claim settlement staff, people involved in data management, and relations with intermediaries. Another important pillar is an innovative distribution model, to which we will return later. And then there is a solution-oriented approach. Almost any risk can be given a price tag. Almost any risk can be evaluated by REVO. But what is this, and how? What are our sectors on which we want to base our strategy? What are the specialty lines? We started by strengthening and improving the entire Elba core business, that is, surety and engineering. Based on an already extremely valid technical structure and a highly skilled team of underwriters, we have grafted new resources. We have grafted an automated customer pricing and scoring process, and these form the foundations on which we are building the new Elba for the surety and engineering lines. We're also focusing on the development of financial lines, that is, specifically professional liability and D&O, and on risks in agriculture, together with the structure of parametric risks, on events and liability, Another sector on which we're focusing is occupational accidents and pollution liability, and we're developing solutions within mortgage solutions for financial institutions. Certainly, we cannot overlook property and all-risk solutions for businesses, to which we are planning to add business interruption as an important piece. We have already identified a whole series of specialty line niches that we will be developing over the next few months, profitable niches supporting our business plan. I would like to end finally with marine and aviation, which are classic specialty line areas. Well, in marine we will operate both in hull and in cargo, and in aviation, obviously our range of products will be rich and comprehensive. What are the pillars of the underwriting strategy? Firstly, it's a data-driven underwriting strategy based on digital products. Every SME is a unique customer for us, which can be analyzed, and thanks to our pricing and data analytics processes, we can retrieve any data required for analyzing a customer from in-house and external databases. Then, thanks to the technology that Salvatore Stefanelli previously described, we'll have both bundled products, that is, products that we can create quickly, put online in a few days, thereby cutting REVO's response times to intermediaries. Our aim is to become the best-in-class insurer. And then we have the tailor-made products, which, thanks to the expertise of our underwriters and data available, we will be able to create policies for meeting the specific needs of our customers, whatever they may be. Lastly, within our pricing model, a very complex model, we are incorporating ESG factors that will reward all ESG virtuous businesses with discounts. Let me finish by talking briefly about the distribution model. Why is it an innovative distribution model? Because, as Alberto Minoli and Jacopo Tanaglia previously mentioned, it is multi-channel. I would just like to add that we are closing distribution agreements with the top 40 brokers in the market that are responsible for more than 80% of the premiums in this channel. We have a dedicated MGA. We plan to be the partner for generalist carriers that do not offer niche products to their agents. We're also investing heavily in the current Elba agents network, 100 highly prepared agents, extremely loyal to the insurance company, who already can access all new products that REVO has created or has in the pipeline. And finally, as mentioned, we're open to new forms of distribution, to marketplaces that are emerging and that will make their debut in the coming months on the Italian and European insurance market. I'll stop here, talking about specialty lines, and ask our CFO, Jacopo Tanaglia, to join us on stage to provide you with an overview of the figures underpinning the plan. Thank you, Simone. To talk about our plan ambitions from the standpoint of the numbers, I'd like to start by looking at Elba's historical data. Elba is a story about growth. Over the years, it has constantly grown and has shown resilience during the tough years of the pandemic, 2020, with particularly interesting ratios and excellence from an income perspective, and an equally valid position regarding capital robustness. Regarding the breakdown of premiums, as you well know, Elba focuses on surety and guarantees, which, in 2021, accounted for over 75% of total gross premiums. Equally important is engineering, with a percentage of around 18%. This is our springboard. During the first 2 months, this growth has continued further, an increase in year-on-year premiums of about 8%. But an extremely important aspect that needs to be highlighted is the beginning of a change to the product mix, with the increase in exposure to liability products, also thanks to cross-selling within the surety area. Loss ratios are equally excellent, even improving compared to the loss ratios reported in 2021, with a solvency ratio that remains above 270 percentage points. What are the assumptions underpinning our business plan? Firstly, over the last few weeks, we have incorporated the most recent revisions for inflation and GDP growth. Also, according to the forecasts published by the main investment banks and central banks, which clearly reflect a slightly more complex scenario from a macroeconomic perspective, compared to the one reported at the end of the financial year. The important aspect to underscore is that our plan numbers do not include, at the current time, the positive effects that could derive from implementation of the National Recovery and Resilience Plan, with possible upside effects from this standpoint. Technical dynamics. We have built our plan based on a bottom-up approach. Each line manager, each LOB manager has identified the exact individual products, built a growth vector for these product lines, and identified very precise loss ratios. Overall, we would like to maintain an extremely high level of solvency throughout the plan period, with a view to already distributing a dividend based on 2023 earnings and investments, IT, and human resources side. This year will be project launch year, where, in any case, we expect positive results. In fact, premiums are expected to grow strongly over the year, up to about 120 million euro. No carrier operating for many years in the Italian market can claim such strong growth for this year. But it will also be the year for consolidating the operating machine, with investments in IT amounting to around 6.7 million euro and investments in human resources with a headcount of about 145 people at the end of the year, and further distribution agreements that will drive our premium growth. 2023 will be an extremely interesting year, and there will be further growth in premiums estimated at around 180 million euro and an operating result that will be higher than the launch one. This will be due to full implementation of the OVERX system, completion of our product range, and the commencement of business agreements that we're structuring and are about to be entered into. What are the long-term goals? The long-term objectives, as mentioned by Mr. Minelli at the start of this presentation, are to achieve gross premiums accounting to 300 million euro, with an increase in surety-linked premiums, which is the most profitable line, climbing from around 60 million euro to 80 million euro at the end of our plan period. We are planning to reinvent our reinsurance business. When we took over Elba, we found reinsurance was almost exclusively based on quota share arrangements. We plan to calibrate reinsurance on individual products and on individual lines of business in a more precise way, with a view to extracting value. The loss ratio is extremely interesting. It corresponds to about 45%, and this will result in an approximate threefold increase in the operating result, compared to the one reported by Elba in 2021. The key objectives of our plan are therefore to achieve an operating ROE greater than 18%, maintenance of a Solvency II ratio at levels of excellence between 180% and 200%, thus planning to use the capital gained, thanks to the IPO, in an extremely efficient way, and planning to distribute earnings in the form of a dividend as early as 2023. It is important to highlight that implementation of this plan will not require any further capital increase for its realization. What kind of insurance company will we find in 2025? For sure, a more complete insurer. The surety business will account for around 25%. For all the other lines, this portfolio diversification is planned to be completed by 2025, and the parametric business will also begin to play an important role, reflected in the figures, with a premium pool forecast to exceed 25 million euro. As my final point, I would like to address investments and ratings. From an investment perspective, over the course of the plan, we plan to diversify the portfolio we acquired in the business combination, consisting almost exclusively of government bonds. A diversification maneuver has already been launched that will lead us to increase our exposure to corporate securities and to government bonds of other states. There is no plan for equity exposure. We want to limit portfolio volatility as far as possible, and our positions will be marked by a low duration and extremely high reference ratings. Rating is an important issue for the insurance company. We have already received a positive opinion from Standard & Poor's in December 2021, standing at BBB+. We would like to continue this path via diversification, not only of the investment portfolio, but also through diversification of the business, which, as we have seen, will lead us to become a far more complete insurer by 2025. It is important to highlight that the value of this project, however, will be mainly generated by the technical performance of the business, and not so much by the financial result of REVO's portfolio, enabling the action itself to be strictly independent of financial market trends, and therefore with strong decorrelation with respect to macroeconomic dynamics. I'll end my overview of the figures here and hand over to our CEO, Alberto Minali, for his closing remarks. Thank you. Thanks, Jacopo. Before closing this presentation with a few concluding remarks, let me say I am extremely happy with the business plan presented today to the financial community. It is a business plan that clearly leverages all our efforts, the intense sowing and reaping that we've undertaken since launching the S.p.A. And today we have outlined the notion of REVO being present in a new market, the specialty line and parametric risk market. You will have grasped very well, I think, from the presentation, that capital has a three-dimensional nature. Technological development of information technology, the OVERX platform that builds no-code products, that interfaces with distributors, that is flexible, and that is scalable, is certainly an essential enabler. But having this technological platform would be worth nothing without a first-rate team capable of speaking the market language and able to interact with all intermediaries, whether traditional intermediaries or innovative ones. And I'd like, once again, in summing up, to dwell on the quality of this team. It is a cohesive team, a team of senior but also young people, a team that is already working very well, and already in 2022 it will generate excellent results in terms of growth. And this is proof that REVO's operating machine is running on all cylinders. We think that this business plan is a plan that will interest the market, and will certainly be of interest to investors that were part of the IPO with us, whose performance is certainly better than that of the reference index. But primarily, it will be of interest to all other investors that are perhaps approaching insurance for the first time, and that see an extremely interesting investment opportunity in REVO. I would like to close this presentation with two service announcements, both of which are extremely important. The first, I'd like to thank everyone who has contributed to this industrial plan, all those who have put their heart and soul, let's say, in this new REVO adventure that will produce results and bear fruit. Those ideas we had are becoming reality. Slowly we're seeing them take shape, and we're sure we're headed in the right direction. The second announcement concerns the management team, which I thank, and that is ready to take your questions in a Q&A session that will start in a couple of minutes, after a musical break. And finally, a huge thank you to all of you waiting in line for this crossing into the insurance world, which I hope has given you an idea of the range of great things that REVO will achieve over the coming months. Thank you again.